Welcome to Breaking News TV 24, your channel for news updates and current affairs. Stay tuned.
Hello, our dear listeners. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Breaking News TV 24. Today's news update. Military government more sympathetic to plight of lecturers as expressed by ASU President. For details of the story, please stay tuned. Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, President of Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, says the military government era in the country was more sympathetic to the plight of lecturers than the current civilian administration. He said this at the unveiling of 50 tertiary textbooks published by Nigerian authors under the sponsorship of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, on Thursday in Abuja, the FCT. Thank you very much for this honorable minister and all of us who are present here today. I want to thank my colleagues for raising the issues, and I think it is very important. I will just say a little thing about what is TET Fund and how did it originate. In 1992, the union was on strike and negotiating on how we used to do then few years ago with Obafemi and Co. And when we finished, the government said, how can we fund it? And we said, challenge us. We will tell you how to fund this agreement. And they challenged ASU. It didn't take 3 days and we came up with this idea of TET Fund, which was accepted by government and military. I have seen the military are even more sympathetic. The TET Fund came into place. The decree was signed in 1993. ASU had to go on strike the third term to ensure that TET Fund board is funded and that the money was released. ASU had to go on strike the third term to ensure that TET Fund board is funded and that the money was released. On the no work no pay policy of the federal government against striking lecturers, which has resulted in 8 months of unpaid salaries, Osodeke called on Nigerians to increase pressure on the government to save tertiary education from collapse. While describing TET Fund as a brainchild of the union, he commended the agency for transforming the nation's higher education sector. The ASU president called for increase of education tax from the current 2.5% to 10% to enable TET Fund mobilize more funds to totally address challenges confronting the sector. While decrying the poor attitude of some big companies and wealthy Nigerians on the payment of education tax, Osodeke said there is a need to reposition and expand the education tax to bring about more resources for tertiary education institutions. Minister of Education Malam Adamu, who unveiled the 50 new textbooks, said the publications would end the dominance of foreign academic materials in the nation's education institutions. Adamu, who was represented by the Minister of State for Education, Goodluck Nana Opia, said over time, Nigeria's tertiary education institutions became dependent on books published outside the country, with the attendant consequences of the Herculean processes and unfavorable foreign exchange rate. It is equally worrisome that the quality of most academic publications in our country leaves much to be desired. It is therefore expected that nourishing the culture of quality authorship and the production of indigenous books will not only ensure the availability of relevant books in the diverse subject areas, taking cognizance of our local environment and the sensitivities, but will also safeguard national pride and reduce the demand for foreign exchange. The minister also urged TET Fund under the academic to go beyond publishing in English language to promoting authorship in local languages, in line with the recently approved national language policy. In his remark, the executive secretary of TET Fund, Aksoni Ekono, said the fund has set a minimum target of 50 textbooks per year, while assuring that the newly published books would be distributed to tertiary institutions' libraries at no cost. All the books we have published so far The initial publications are going to be distributed to the libraries of our tertiary institutions free of charge. It is the subsequent publications that students will be buying or others researchers will buy, he said. Thanks for being with us, and this marks the end of our story at the moment. Don't forget to join us later for more news update. Have a nice time and goodbye.